Welcome to another edition of Coming to You Live with Marcelo Araujo. Today we're back here at the Kyoto Grand Hotel in the garden area, which is now the Pangea Gardens. Today's episode is a very special episode because we're going to go behind the scenes of Coming to You Live. We're going to talk to the man behind Neo Nagasaki Productions. Yes, I am talking about the one and only himself, Manny Montanez. Many friends and fans of the show have asked me, who is Neo Nagasaki? Who is Manny Montanez? Many people think that he's a yay-high, short Asian cinematographer guy, but it's really quite the contrary. I have known Manny for about 17 years, through junior and high school. And I'm going to introduce you to Manny Montanez, the founder of Neo Nagasaki Productions.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. Many people have asked me that, are you Japanese? Are you Japanese? Just let our viewers know. I know the answer, but you know.
No, I'm not Japanese. I'm actually full-blooded Mexican with a little bit of German somewhere in the mix. Don't know how that happened. But no, I'm not Japanese. I'm just a gaijin, otaku, however you want to call it. Just a huge fan of Japanese culture.
What is your fascination with Japanese culture? How did that become?
And my family on my mom's side were really into Asian cultures. Chinese, Korean, Japanese. I remember hearing stories from my grandmother, how she would, back in the 50s, she would decorate the house with Chinese style influence in there. I fell more into, I guess, the Japanese side of the spectrum. And it's just something about the culture, about the art, the music, the history, the people, the language and such. Japanese is a really beautiful language. I'm trying to learn that thing for, I don't know how long now.
Really? Anashimasu Nihongo.
皆さんこんにちは。僕の名前はモンタネスです。映画が大好きです。
The name Neo Nagasaki Productions. How did that come about? I mean, for as long as I've known you, I know you're not really a Keanu Reeves fan. You're not a Matrix fan. I mean, so I'm trying to correlate the two together. How? Where did that come about?
Yeah, that's kind of the funny thing. When people ask me where did that come from, Neo Nagasaki. When I'm into the Matrix, so that's not the reason why I named Neo. It's not from Keanu Reeves' character. It actually, first it kind of starts off as a play on words from an anime, a classic one called Akira, that it takes place in Neo Tokyo. That's where I got the idea from. Instead of Neo Tokyo, I call it Neo Nagasaki. And where I got Nagasaki from, it's actually, if you don't know, it's a city in Japan. It actually has a lot of historical references to it. For me personally, I chose Nagasaki because hundreds of years ago, it actually used to be a Christian community in Japan. At one time, all of southern Japan, just about all of it, was converted to Christianity. And Nagasaki was the main spot. It was the main area where they had Bible schools, Christian universities. And the reason I chose that was it's a representation of my faith. Myself, I'm a Christian. Been saved for about, I would say, a good 20-40 years now, give or take. And that just kind of goes for me why you chose Nagasaki, because of its significance in Christianity and historical sense as well. The equipment that we work with, well, first off, I want to say, thanks again to our guest cinematographer, Richie, DeLeon. Awesome job. Because usually when we're doing this thing, I'm the one behind the camera. I do the editing, but for obvious reasons, I can't do that unless I hold the camera so it looks like a MySpace picture. Welcome to Coming to You Live. That would just be awkward.
Kind of like in our first video we did at the Royal Tea, where in the beginnings of the show, we decided like, let's do this fun project. And of course, there was Tommy Tuesday was our first video, but then when I went to the Royal Tea, I couldn't pass up the offer to shoot video there. If you look closely at some of the videos, you can completely tell the way it's shot, how I'm basically the cameraman for the video.
Now, it's funny with these videos that we've been doing, these episodes, a lot of people have watched them and they kind of assume that we actually have proper equipment and proper editing program, which in actuality, we're not actually shooting off of a camcorder, but we're actually shooting off of a 5th generation iPod Nano. For those who don't know, the iPod Nanos allow them to have a little camera in the back. And what kind of surprised us was that the video quality is actually really good. Well, actually, it's pretty legit.
Well, it's not only the video quality, it's also the mic quality. As one of our problems that we faced when we shot video before was that we're obviously in public places, and in public places, you never know what's going to happen. That way you hear sirens going off, helicopters flying by, like as in a Little Tokyo video where a helicopter flew by it when we were over the Gopher Broke Mountain even. Different aspect of what's going on in Hawaii here rather than here in California, which was hilarious, but it came out good.
Editing, I don't have Adobe Premiere or Final Cut or even After Effects or anything like that. To do editing the video, we actually use Windows Movie Maker, which it's not to down it, but it's a decent editing program, but it's not meant for professional. It's not really meant to do shows or movies. It's more kind of like for, hey, let's make a fun family, slideshow of our trip to Grand Canyon or something. But honestly, it makes it happen. You just use the different tricks, the different transitions. I guess it's like for those of you out there that use Movie Maker like me. I guess my best advice I can give you is this is kind of like my philosophy on Windows Movie Maker. Just because you use Windows Movie Maker doesn't mean it has to look like you use Windows Movie Maker.
What are your plans for the future as far as being a cinematographer, your plans for the show, to help make the show better? Go a little bit about that angle, your artistic value.
Well, right now I'm going to film school. I'm studying filmmaking. I want to be able to make movies one day, just movies that will make people think, not just like with all respect, just generic, just hey, let's just see something that's going to entertain us. But something that's not only going to be entertaining, but will just inspire people, make them think about life, think about themselves, think about the world that's around them. Where I see in the future of the show, we just still want to go to different spots, just more of an in-depth perspective of what makes them special, why you should go out there and check them out itself. As for the future of Neo Nagasaki Productions, one, continuing with Coming to You Live show, that's for sure, as well as, later on doing, once I get better, once I start learning more on filmmaking, being able to make indie films, shorts, being able to add it on there, eventually making the production company legit itself. One project that I am working on, I'm actually in the planning stages of, is a documentary called The 100, which it kind of goes off of this article that Yahoo did sometime back where it was about the 100 movies, the greats that you have to see, that you should see before you die. And I remember looking at the article, reading a lot of them, thinking, a lot of these movies I have seen, a lot of them I haven't seen, or just heard of or had no idea about. So I thought about this project, The 100 would be a documentary following me watching each of these movies in the span of 1 year. It's not going to be so much of reviews, like you're watching, old Siskel and Ebert or anything, but it would be more on the dynamics, what made this movie great, what made it special, what made it stand out, and even more so, what can filmmakers, myself and all those that are watching it, what can you take from this movie? What can we learn from it? What can we borrow from it for our own projects later in the future?
Well, it's been a wonderful chit chat, Manny. I'd like to thank you again for explaining, talking, letting the viewers know a little bit more about yourself, a little bit more about Neo Nagasaki Productions and your vision for Neo Nagasaki Productions and the show. And I'm going to let you take from here. I'm going to give you the honor here. Let you finish this video off.
Well, all right. Well, first off, before we sign off, I want to thank all the viewers out there that have been supporting the show, that have been becoming fans, and just helping us get this production underway. I want to thank all the people that have been subscribing to our YouTube page and all the people that have been adding on to our Facebook fan site. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Well, with that said, thank you for watching another episode of Coming to You Live with Marcelo Araujo, where in the future we'll be showing you more great places around LA and the greater LA area where you can have your own live experience.